Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I'm hopping on here this evening to show you some tips and ideas to use with our new. I'm hopping on here this evening to show you some tips and ideas. I forgot to mute my laptop. Sorry about that. And I didn't realize you were going to be able to see my stuff back here. It's just some blocks, stamp blocks and everything that I have sitting here. So, today, I have been gathering different tips and different things to do with the new hot foil system. Some of them even's not doing the hot foiling, but using the dies as an embossing tool. So I have written them down, and I've watched some other videos of other demonstrators, and I've tried their methods, and I've tried to see if I can reproduce what they did. So, and I've already got my machine plugged in here so that it'll be ready to go. So this is on Secret Seed, the first version that you do, the normal version, and then this on the very vanilla is the negative piece. I know I said you could put down adhesive sheets or something, but when you do it this way, it just comes out so much smoother, and you don't have that clear plastic film on the top that sometimes comes off. I just did something else, and it actually comes off after you use the adhesive sheet, and it doesn't really always give you such a pretty design. So let's get started here. I'm going to get my things that I need. I've got excuse my, I was trying to cut it with scissors and it wasn't cut, it didn't cut very evenly, so excuse that. But I decided, well, I could still use it. And I kind of cut down my paper, my Secret Seed to be a card front, so 4 by 5.5, and the same thing with this white piece. Now the die for this is much bigger than that, but that's okay, because we don't have to use the whole die. We could just use what we need for the card piece. So we're waiting for our white light to start flashing. I started this maybe like 3 minutes before 6 o'clock, and so we're maybe at 5 minutes now, so we should be pretty close. The only reason I'm just showing 3 of my 10 tips is that it takes a little while to wait for the machine to heat up and things between the different things that we're doing. So I thought it would just be easier so you weren't sitting here all evening watching me foil. So sometimes it seems like an eternity, does it? And then after it flashes, you put the plate on, the die on, and hit the white button, and then it's like 1.5 to 2 minutes to heat up the die. I hope that you're all having a great afternoon. It's hot here. We're underneath the heat advisory, but I think it's supposed to end. It started yesterday, and I think it's supposed to end sometime this evening. And we are fortunate that the smoke from the Canadian fires haven't made it down this far in Missouri. I think it might be some in St. Louis, but we're a little bit south and west of St. Louis here in St. Robert, so it has not made it here. But I have a nephew who lives in Chicago and another one that lives in Buffalo, and they've been really struggling with the smoke. I know I put my pole up a little bit higher so you could see more. Oh, there we go. Oh, quit talking. Okay, so I got that on. I'm pushing the white button. Now we're going to wait till the green light comes on. I put my camera higher up today so you could see more of what I was doing, because it does take a lot of room to do this. And so you can see a little bit more of my mess I have back here. I have some ephemera laying back here. My phone stand. Just different things. Usually you can just see my glass mat. I'll have to remember that for next time. So, if you're Hi Judy, I'm so glad that you're watching. I'm just going to do 3 today because it takes so long because you have to wait for it to heat up when you go to the next step. So I didn't want to spend the whole evening. And I thought if I did 3 at a time, because I might come up with some more as we move on. I did like the idea about the adhesive sheets until I found this idea, because that would have been a lot of adhesive sheets if every time I was going to have to use a whole 4 by 5 1/4 sheet. Oh, there we go. We're just going to stop talking when it starts beeping. And we're going to do this on Secret C. We're going to lay down our foil. Like I said, this foil is not going to cover the whole plate, but that's okay because I just needed to cover this piece. And since it kind of cut jagged, I might have to cut this piece smaller, but that's fine. Then I'm going to carefully lay this down because we already know what happened when I showed this the first time. I embossed on my green shim, but I got it all off without my eraser. And then I put on this clear plate, unplug it, bring up my stamp and cut machine, stamp and emboss, not stamp, cut and emboss. So I'm going to slip this in here. I'm hoping that you can kind of see it. And I'm just going to very slowly, the slower you go, the better image that you get. That's what you just have to keep on remembering. Because I went fast on something today when I was getting these ready because I wasn't thinking. And luckily I was able to put it back in because I just lifted it up a little and it didn't show well. So I put it through again and it worked. But in order to only have to do it once, we're just going to go really slow. Okay. Now the white part of this foiling machine is not hot. You just don't want to touch that gray pad that's there in the middle. So we're going to move this out. We're going to take apart our sandwich. We're going to take this plate here and put it over here on my cooling mat. I have the cooling mat sitting on my other desk because I just didn't have room for anything. So let's see the reveal. Just what it said, like, ooh la la, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So now we're going to see what can we do with this, because it's just a shame if we had to waste this all the time. So we're going to plug the machine back in. All these different cords now under my desk. So we're going to let it heat up again. I just love the pink on the Secret C. I think it just stands out so nicely. And I know I got it kind of messed up here at the bottom because of the way I cut the foil. But that's going to be okay. I'm just going to trim this down and maybe trim a little bit and just make it be a smaller mat on the front. I might double mat. But I like all the dies, but I think this might be my favorite. I know Judy and Anna said that she came over and now that she got her machine, she's just making thing after card after card after card. She's been sending me pictures. It's just so much fun. I'm going to make cards with these at another time and then show them. I just didn't want to take the time today to show you the tip and then make a card with it. And I wrote down my instructions so I make my layers be correct, because everything is a different, like, layering, or different shims and stuff. So when we do this on the negative, we're going to put the foil shiny side down. We're going to use cardstock on top of that. And then we're going to put the plate back on here with the solid part of the plate on top of the cardstock. And then we're going to run it through twice, slowly twice, just because it takes a little bit longer when you're using this negative to get it to all stick good. And today, if you're a demonstrator, you could start pre-ordering from the September to December catalog. It's very exciting. And the September online exclusives. So, that's an exciting thing for today. Stampin' Up! Also said that they were going to come out with a way to use these negatives. Maybe they're going to give us just a solid plate so we don't always have to use the garden. I forgot what the name of this is. Let me look over here. The garden silhouette, that's what I thought it was. That's a big enough plate to use whenever you're using different plates from the other sets. But I'm not for sure. They just said, save your negatives because something's kept... Look at how crooked I am now. How did I get so crooked? And of course, my timer goes off right when I'm trying to fix the camera. So we're going to lay this flat down on here. Don't use... I used my nails. It was see, but I scratched it there. Because you want to get it as flat as you can. And then you push your white button. I was so nervous when I tried this first. Even though I saw somebody else do it, I kept thinking, oh man, I'm probably going to have the flowers foiled to my gray mat there in the middle forever. And won't that be fun to try to use? When I did this one, I forgot at first to put the silver plate upside down on here until after I'd already let it heat. So I kind of had to take off the top two shims and add that. But it still worked good. I'd say it got like 99% of the foil. Maybe if you look at it this way a little bit, you can kind of see the lines from the mat in there, but only if you were going to look really hard. And up here it didn't quite fill in that corner. But that's pretty good. I'm running out of things to talk to you about. I have some more dies that I didn't have last time. I didn't have this card. Oh, there we go. We're going to take the opportunity to go. So we're going to lay down our cardstock. We're going to lay down our garden silhouette die flat with the flat side on the paper to give it the most pressure. Unplug the machine. Add the green shim. Add the clear plate. Move it over a tad. Get the cut and emboss machine up here. So now I'm just going to go really slow. Because again, like I said, this time it's especially important to go slow. I know I was putting them on the adhesive sheets, but then somebody was showing how the clear foil, the clear piece on top, after a while might come separated from the foil. So then I saw somebody do this, and it's skips a step of the adhesive. Okay, so now we're going to go backwards very slowly. I always have my fingers crossed to hope that this works, because you just never know. When I first showed it, I foiled my green shim with all the greetings. I almost did that again this morning when I was trying to do one of the samples, but I remembered before I put it in the machine. Okay, then we're going to do this again. We're going to take off the plate, the green shim. We're going to use our magnet, if we remember where we put it. We're going to take that. It's not really too hot. You could almost very quickly pick it up maybe with your fingertips. Then we're going to pick this up and we're going to do a reveal. I'm going to plug the machine back in so that maybe it doesn't take so long the next time. Okay. And now we're, hold on, I have this, let me just see if I can find something. Oh, I don't. It usually sits up here on my desk, but I got this little thing that makes noises, so it'd be like, whoo-hoo, when I reveal, but I must have moved it. So we're going to reveal. Oh, no, see, this time it didn't do as good. Of course, because I'm on live. So we're just going to heat it up again. I don't know why. It worked perfect for me like this morning when I made this vanilla one. But we'll just give it a little bit more time to heat up maybe. Let me read my notes again in case I made my sandwich be wrong. Put the cardstock on, put the flat side down, and then go through it twice. So we'll just try again. This happens when you're trying to do a live. We were leaving it on here for a long time now because we're still waiting for the machine to get warm. I think too you have to be kind of quick about it so that it doesn't cool off so much and not stick. Believe me, this one came out so nice this morning. That's why I thought, oh, that's will be so easy to demonstrate. And as long as I didn't peel the whole thing off, I'm pretty sure everything's still going to be in the same spot that it was when I did it the first time. So we shouldn't maybe get any, because I didn't really take it all the way off. I just peeled it a little. So we shall see. Maybe I shouldn't have waited to peel it looking for that sound maker thing I bought. Because maybe it cooled too much. You know, I really don't know everything about it. I guess maybe next time I'll have to try. Because I tried all three of them that I'm showing you today. I tried this morning so I wasn't coming on here cold and just reading my notes and trying to do one. Well, waiting, I'll show you. I tried this one with like scrunching up the butterfly negative and laying it on like I did there. and then just to kind of give it a distressed look, and I haven't decided if I like it. It picked up a lot of the stripes from the mat because I used a different sandwich on it. But it might be nice if I cut out the butterfly. They'll just kind of look, you know, distressed. And sometimes distressed things look great. It's going to turn green soon. I just know it. Oh, there we go. So now we're going to put this on. Maybe I'm supposed to put that on too when the white light starts flashing. But we'll just cross our fingers that this works this time. Green shim, clear plate, Stampin' Emboss machine. And if it doesn't, we'll just move on to the next tip and I'll try to figure out what I did wrong. And then, I know I did it very slowly. I'm going to slowly do it this time. Okay, then we're going to slowly move it back. Fingers crossed. Cross your fingers that this comes out right. I guess I could edit the video if I wasn't doing a live video and then just skip that it didn't work the first time. But this is just in case it doesn't work for you the first time. Don't peel it all the way off. And maybe you can get it right in the same spot again. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to say, yay! It still didn't do it. Look at how much of it missed. Okay. I'm going to figure out what I did wrong with this. And tomorrow, when I make my next video, I will tell you. But I promise I did the same, unless I'm missing a step. I did the same thing on this one, and it worked perfect. But we'll go ahead and plug this back in and move to tip number 2, and hopefully it works better. It's not that I'm really wasting the paper because I can just do it again and again. Maybe I was supposed to heat it up. I'll tell you what I'm going to try after this video. I'm going to try putting the plate on when it's heating up instead of just the foil and the paper, because that might hold it down and get the foil more hot. But I don't want to waste another 6 minutes having the machine cut up. But I will post something later when I figure out what I did wrong. So this is what we're going to do next. And fingers crossed that this works. We're going to use the silver foil this time. And do you remember when we had this vellum? I had some pieces left over. So I foiled the butterflies on this vellum. And I thought that was pretty cool how it didn't even, hurt the vellum from getting hot or anything. And you could just do it on plain vellum, and then you could color on the back side and color in the butterflies using the mask or using your Stampin' Blends. But I'm just going to leave them like this since I have a decoration in the background. I just think that'll make such a nice summery birthday card or thinking of you card. So we're going to wait again. I'm going to have to figure out how to, maybe I have some that you don't even use how you can use the dies just to emboss. So maybe I'll switch it around and add some of those in there so we could be doing that while the system heats up. But I bet maybe if I would put the shim, I'm really thinking if I would have put that plate on the back of this while it was heating up, that would have made it stick to the paper, because you'd have that weight pushing the foil onto the paper while it's heating up. So we shall wait and see. Has it been really hot in South Carolina, Judy? On the vellum, we're going to have to be careful because there's kind of like a right side and a wrong side of the vellum, and we want the right side to be laying on the foil when we do it. I guess I could be getting my butterflies ready to put on. Now I have the hiccups. Oh my. Just because I decided to do a video, I get hiccups. Okay. It is flashing. Hit the white button. Wait for the yellow light to quit flashing and have the green light come on. I'm going to lay this over here so I don't get it mixed up. Oh, it's been so hot here. I think yesterday was, like 105 with the heat index, or feels like temperature. Okay, so it would be better. I'll get some cards made up with what I've made already too, and then I could be showing some cards that I made with the pieces that I've foiled. Then that would take up some time between just sitting here waiting. Because it's almost been a half hour and we've only really made one thing. Of course, we had to do that twice and it still didn't work. So I will keep working on that. It's always just my luck. You get on here and think you're going to show something great, and then it doesn't work like it did when nobody was watching you. Oh, there we go. So we're going to lay this down. I think it's kind of hard to tell on this, which is the front or back of this. We're going to lay this on. Nope, we're not. We're first going to lay the silver on. Then we're going to lay this on. Then we're going to lay our, before it all curls up here, the green shim and the clear shim. Get the machine back up here to cut it. Go very slowly. You know, usually you're trying to crank something through as fast as you can to get it done cutting, and now it seems like you're being a turtle, having to turn it so slowly. Okay. So there we go. We went through once. I've seen some people go through twice just every time when they foil, even when they're doing this. But I know they recommended just going through once in case the sandwich shifts or something. You might get kind of like a double image. So we'll take this off. We'll take the butterfly off. Put it over here. And hopefully this is going to be... Oh, it did. Look, it came right off. Isn't that pretty with the butterflies on there? Now I'm going to save this for something that we're going to do tomorrow. So I'll save that piece. But I really like how that turned out. That'll just, even if you were to cut them out and they would just have that background, would look pretty nice too. Okay, so I forgot to plug the machine back in. Our last tip for tonight. foiling on velvet. I have some of the green and red and white velvet left from the Christmas catalog. So if you notice right here on this bee, it kind of didn't get a really clear foil there, but everywhere else it did. So I'm thinking I just didn't have this laid down enough. And if I would have noticed, I could have laid it back down and tried it again, but I didn't notice until I had already peeled the whole thing. And I wish I would have, which I could do now since we have some time, put an adhesive sheet on the back. So that way when I get done cutting, it will already be ready to put on to your card. You won't have to worry about trying to glue it. So I have some adhesive sheet here. Let's see what I have to cut it at. 1, 2, 3 3/4 by 2. This is another one of my tips about putting the adhesive on the back before you foil. So I might be down to 9 tips now, but I'll still show you the one that I did just on regular cardstock. So now I already forgot what I said. 2 by 1, 2, 3. I gotta measure again. I was talking and I forgot. This is 3 3/4. So we're just gonna add this to the back now before we even foil or anything, so that when we use the die to cut it out, it'll be ready to make a card. And there we go, just about in time. Oh, now I got some adhesive on there. So we're going to lay this down. So this time we're going to do the word celebrate. We're going to lay it on here. We're going to push our button. While we're waiting, I'll put the machine up here so as soon as I take it off, I can run it through the machine. These die come with the outline die that will actually cut out around the words. So that makes it very nice. I'm still very crooked. I think it's because I never got straight in the first place. Or maybe every time I put up the machine, I hit the glass mat and it jostles everything. So we'll see how this works now while we're waiting for the green light. If I knew how to edit, I know how to edit my videos, but it takes me a while and stuff. I would try to edit out all this waiting part. Let me see. I've also been making some cards with the Fern and Flora set. Okay, there was our thing that says it's ready. So we're going to put on the red velvet and cover it up. But we forgot to put the foil on. When I put the foil on, you can't foil without foil. Lay the velvet on top of that. A shim and your plate. Unplug it. Cross your fingers. I did go through twice on the velvet too, just because it's kind of a thick surface and not as smooth as cardstock. So I went really slow 2 times. Yes, we are, Judy. It's just kind of learning new things. I mean, it's so fun to do just foiling, but then you hate to waste the whole background that when you're done foiling is still there. So I'm glad that some other people have tried it, and now I'm trying it. Believe me, theirs came out good the first time. I don't know what happened to me. I really think I should have put the plate on after the light was flashing. Okay, so now we're done there. Move this machine. Move this more to the middle so you can see better. Take off the shims. Take off the die. Okay, are we ready to see if this works? Oh, look. This time it came out perfect. I got a little bit of overfoiling. Maybe I shouldn't have went through twice. So that will be a hint. Just go through once. Because that might have been too much pressure and made it be a little bit of splatter there on the sides. Let's look at the happy birthday. The happy birthday looks much nicer, except for that I didn't get the B, and this one I got all the letters. I just got some overfoiling. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. So now I could put that outline thing and just have, or I could just cut this so you can't see the extra adhesive and use this as a label. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions or anything, you can put them in the comments, and I'll always go back and read them and try to answer your questions. But I just love my new hot foil system, and I think you will too. Have a great day. Bye.